So I've got this Crimson Fleet Wight that I rebuilt. Doesn't look exactly the same. Changed it up a bit. I just used the base ship and the color and some of the parts to kind of give it that original feel a little bit. But I mostly wanted to add my new habs in there and do a build. So I've got my 3x3 and my 2x3 and my 3x1s and 2x2s and a couple of 2x1s in there. And this is what I came up with. I think I kind of like this color pattern a little bit better than the Crimson Fleet, but I went and wanted to go get pictures with it with the original color. But I think that if I was going to fly it, I'd probably change it to this pattern. So I didn't actually start off with the pontoons, the outriggers there, the wings being straight on with the main body. I actually started off with them being high in a more raised position. I think this looked better. And I like the access coming from the lower level better to that. It made more sense to me that it ties in with the base level. This is what it looked like when it was elevated. You can see it's up where it's at the same level as the cockpit. And that looks all right, but it blocks the cockpit some, and I wanted it. I decided that I liked the idea better of coming in at the lower level, at the lounge level, and not blocking out the cockpit, and being more in line with the overall body of the ship. So this is with it changed to being at the lower level. I moved the pontoon to the inward windows there and moved them back. I like them better where they are. It didn't look as balanced with them closer in. The squared off wings looked odd. They needed some taper, it's too much of a hard straight line. I mean, because there's so many levels, I put a elevator in instead of a staircase and never a ladder. This actually with the cockpit's 4 levels. You've got my, you enter into the 2x3, and then the second level is this 3x3 with the 3x1s protruding from it in front. This I actually had to reskin. It's a marble top with the white plastic looking sides and the black trim on the bottom. And somehow or another, I guess probably while I was clicking it and moving it, it thought it was being edited. And and the material swap on it was a little bit broken up. Like I noticed in my last video, this back corner here, that this had turned orange, striped orange. And I was wondering, I don't remember doing that and or seeing that before. It just surfaced. So I went back in, and fortunately the material swaps were available. So I just re-edited all of this whole bar all the way around, reinstating its material swap to get it back to normal. Yeah, you can see the marbleation there in the top of this. And so this is the third level, which is the captain's private quarters. I've got a storeroom here. I could change that into being for a bathroom, but I just haven't done it. I'm not really planning on flying this ship. I was just bored, and I'd have some ships that I've captured, and I decided to do a little building. But I've kind of done all the building that I want to do as far as testing my habs and making discoveries. There's some stuff that doesn't seem to be quite right that I haven't figured out, like why some of the floors don't want to spawn ladders. I'm not really offended by that because I don't like ladders at all. But it's not supposed to be that way. And I think maybe some of them are that way, maybe because the decor that I've got is maybe too close in proximity to where the plug is, and the plug doesn't drop out or doesn't behave, or either that, or there could be some difference in the scripting of the ship behavior that has been modified since last I was messing with it, and it's just not acting the same way. The outcome is that the floors tend to not want to have ladders, and I think that's a good outcome. So whatever the situation is, I'm not going to try to go in and fix that. I just assume the floors not spawn ladders. There are some cases that I might use that, but mostly I avoid it. So I drop off to go get some pictures. That's why I left it its original pirate color. It looks good with the environment here, that color. This planet has got some of the most beautiful, picturesque night skies of the whole game. It's a good place to go get photos of the ship. See, I think the wings look better lower like that. wings, pontoons, outriggers, whatever you want to, however you want to describe them. Feel free. The thingy sticking out the sides there. I like my Razorleaf configuration better. I'm going to stick with it. Besides, I've got it all decorated, and I think that decorating all these ships with as heavily populated as the habs are contributes to my save file growing real fast, and I'm trying to manage that. I'm actually getting to a point where I might take a break from the game though and do something else. I've enjoyed this and all, but I don't want to burn out on it. My mod seems to be working pretty well, and it does what I wanted it to do. I've missed my big mod, but this is holding up fine. I never did find out where the save file breaks, what size that was. But I think that I'm more prone to breaking it another way and not by the save file. It's if the save file is growing, it's probably due to the amount of objects that I stuff into these habs and then the amount of ships that I build with the habs. I'm not changing that. I like the shipbuilding. I like having them with the density of decor. And I think it's just the trade out that you get, and I'm okay with it. It was just a configuration I wanted to try. Usually when I use those 2x2s, it's with one of these ships. The Wight, I think it's how it's pronounced. It's like it's not wraith, which is a type of a ghost, but it's in the same genre of descriptions that seems to be what the pirate ships' names are all relating to. Wraith, Ghost, Wight, those are all the same sort of genre of entities. Another big ship. Yeah, I definitely think that it looks better with the lowered pontoons. They have more of a top-heavy feel to it with the pontoons being elevated. The elevation just gives you a higher platform to stand on to look out over the terrain and see out over the treetops and such, but I'm not really struggling with that. The jetpack's been working fine. When I need to get in the air. outpost. I really don't build many outposts anymore. I'll drop an outpost for a landing pad just as a convenience of swapping ships or to summon my ground vehicle to first landing to get it out after doing an NG. But occasionally I like to take one of the seaside outposts and populate a little bit. I was feeling in the mood for that. So here I basically just move those pontoons inward just to see, do I like that? Do I like the result? Because I kept thinking, I might get a better view if I move the pontoons inwards and then open up the outside windows that are away from the ship. And I didn't even go in to look at it. It doesn't look right. It needs more taper for my taste. And to do a taper would mean using that window snap point, so it'd be defeating the purpose. Yeah, I think I like the pontoons lower on all of the ships. I like that. That look better. But I'm sticking with my Razorleaf. I've been real happy with this configuration. And normally I'm not into the big ship, but every now and then I like them. And this one is decorated, and it's got too much space. I'm not utilizing the space, but it's what I've got this go around. This time the decor is not showing its skin. It's a coin toss whether it does or doesn't. The weapon racks, though, if it's in the weapon racks, that's been consistent. And I haven't had the weapon racks fail on me, so not this go round, so we're good.